This will be a surprise if you have to go to court. When the name of the trust, example John Doe, is called by the judge aka administrator aka trustee, you can stand and ask, are you saying that the trust which we are now administering is the John Doe Trust, Your Honour? And you watch him turn white. The moment you, what's the word? In the moment you just show an inkling of that knowledge, because they are hiding this fact, they are denying that they're operating trust law. We can stand up, okay, this establishes that we know that the name is a trust, not a live man. What's the judge's first question? What is your name? State your name for the record. We must be very careful not to identify with the name of the trust, because doing so makes us the trustee. What does this tell you about the judge? If we know that the judge is the trustee, then we know that the judge is the name, but only for this particular constructive trust, which is the case. Prosecution, it's a hearing, it's in the Inquisition. Now, think about all the times that the judge have become so frustrated by our refusal to admit to being the name that they issue a warrant, and then as soon as the man leaves, he is arrested. How idiotic is that? They must feel foolish for saying John Doe is not in the court, so I'm issuing a warrant for his arrest, and then the man whom they just admitted is not there is arrested because he is there. That's how it works, this personal fiction. It's disgusting. Their desperation makes them insane. They must get us to admit to being the name, or they pay. Remember, he's got to bring his checkbook along, man, because he has to pay if he fails to shift the liability over to us, and we prosecute and we sign. We execute our own sentence. This is beautiful, what you're going to learn here. This is really, really beautiful. They're desperate. They must get us to admit to being the name, or they pay, and we must not accept their coercion, or we pay. Because the judge is the trustee, a precarious position, the best thing to say in that case is, John Doe is indeed in the court, Your Honour. Point to the judge, it is you, as trustee. You are John Doe today, aren't you? Why not? Why not? We have dominion. We are men and women. We're not persons. We're not. We can't keep going with the fiction. Why? Why would you? It's insane. During their frustration over not admitting to being a trust name, the trustee and or executor of the trust, we ought to ask who they are. Before we go any further, I need to know who you are. Address the clerk of the court. The trustee for the Sestwi KV Trust owned by the state province. Are you the Sestwi KV trustee who has appointed this judge as a trustee for the Sestwi KV Trust owned by the state province? Are you the Sestwi KV trustee who has appointed this judge as administrator and trustee of the constructive trust case? Number. Did you also appoint the prosecutor as executor? Did you also appoint the prosecutor as executor of this constructive trust? Then point to the judge. So you are the trustee, then point to the prosecutor. You are the executor, are you not? And I'm the beneficiary. So now we know who's who, and as beneficiary, I authorise you to handle the accounting and dissolve this constructive trust. We have the power to do that. Dissolve this hearing. I don't want to accuse. I'm not into sin. I'm divine. I'm from heaven. One heaven. I'm a spirit. I'm not the dead. This is what they consider us. This is how they do it. Lost at sea, abandoned, filial, minor or incompetent, ward of the state, etc. Because that's why they made the trusts. They made them for a ward of the state. There's someone who's incompetent, you know, like if someone's, say like a very severely mentally handicapped person and his parents die and his uncle steps in and says, "Oi, yeah, I'll look after him, everything's in trust," and because he loves him and he takes care of him.
The word deed comes from the word deed.
Yes. Yeah, I went through some words, didn't I? That was just a bunch of words, guys. It's all there. Look, you'll see it. It's the Inquisition. I'll just finish up this. I now claim my body, so I am collapsing the Cestui KV trust which you have charged, as there is no value in it. You have committed fraud against all laws. Likely we will not get to hear that before the judge will order case dismissed. Or even more likely, the PE, as he clings tightly to his checkbook, will call, "We withdraw the charges." You watch it and see it happen, guys.
Does that really work? You know,
Yes. Oh, yes. There's hundreds and thousands of people doing this and doing it. There's a video clip on remember this, loveforlife.com. Do you know that one? Go to it. Have a look at this guy, and in 5 minutes, the judge has walked out the door. Why does the judge walk out and have a recess? Do you know why? I'll just finish off with this really quickly. 3 forms of law in the court. When you go to court and the magistrates, you get UCC. First up, commercial law. They can only fine you here. You can only get a fine. When the judge has a recess, he's not telling you what he's doing. He's changing the form of law. And you can go to prison in canon law. That's the Vatican. That's canon law. It's not common law. It's admiralty law. Admiralty law. This is the second form of law. This is the first one. The third is Talmudic. From the Bible. This gives them the priest to send, this gives them the authority as the priests of Baal to send you to your sentence of death. Here they can send you to jail. That's why he runs out of court. You'll see the judge in that video clip on the website, loveforlife.com or .org, whatever, you'll find it. And go down and have a look at the guy, and you'll see how the judge goes, because he got frustrated with this guy. The guy just refused to give him his name. He said, "Are you John Doe?" And he goes, "I'm John." I'll repeat, "Are you John Doe?" He says, "I'm John." "Do you have a family name?" He says, "Oh, I have a family name, but that's not important for today. John will do. I'm here to offer remedy." And the judge got so angry, he said, "Sit down!" He's basically yelling. He's telling his dupes, his bailiffs and all these sheriffs and everything to get him and throw him out of the court. And he says, "Don't do that. You'll be dishonouring a court official," because he'd already given his documents to the bailiff. And once those documents are on that bench, that's it. They can dishonour that. And it's very, very dangerous. Anyway, the judge got frustrated and he goes, "We're going to have a recess." And the guy says, "How long? I haven't got all day. How long are you going to be?" And anyway, the judge opens the door and walks out. Just as he walked out, he realised, he says, "The judge has jumped ship," because that's what this is, a ship. Remember, it's admiralty. It's the law of the high seas. He's in his ship. He's in his boat. So he immediately announced, he said, "For the record, the judge has jumped ship. He's abandoned ship. I, as a sovereign in this court, take authority. Case closed, with prejudice. Have a nice day." And just walked out. Okay? This is the power you've got. If they adjourn the case, that's fine. It stays in the same court. If the judge says we're going to have a recess, that's when you step in and you say, "Your Honour, I don't consent." Because it's an offer. They're administering the trust. You don't have to go to jail. You don't have to consent. The jail is just a warehouse where they put the goods, where they store the goods. That's all it is. You're just the goods, because you are their goods. So that's the power you have. You don't consent. And you can always relay to the judge that if you want to have an appeal, if you say to the judge, I seek an appeal for I seek leave for an interlocutory appeal on a matter of law, remember that sentence, I seek leave for an interlocutory appeal on a matter of law, if you say that, then the judge is going to be very, very reluctant to let you go to appeal, because then he misses out on his commission. It's all about commissions. They're getting paid and they're addicted to the payments that come from it. The thing is about honour. You can call the judge your honour, you know, because if you have more honour than the prosecution, who are liars, and if you go in there honourably in every way, treat the judge with respect, and you will win.